I needed peace with myself. So peace with myself meant taking a risk and not knowing what I was going to do when I graduated. And Miss Daly told me, she said, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know where you're going to work next. Alleviating my withdrawals. I'm really trying to elevate. So anyway, what this video is about again? Okay. Alright. So you brought up a topic in the last video that was very interesting, and I just kind of let you talk and stuff. And I decided for this video, I will give a response.
Okay.
Now, I already broke it down to you over the phone. You were one of the first persons that, well...
Hold on. I was one of the first persons? So I wasn't the first person you told?
No. And you know when you tell your girlfriend and everything.
I thought I was the first person.
That girlfriend I had in college. Mm-hmm. That could be another video, like, we could talk about, like, my decisions in dating. You could say, like, what... You could maybe say, like...
Do you want to go there? This could be viral, right? Like, it's like international?
Like, mm-hmm. It's public, but
those girlfriends, they can see it, right?
They're not my girlfriends, so it
those
doesn't matter.
Ex-girlfriends. I know,
they're
that's
my
what
friends.
I mean.
I don't call them
so I don't want to say anything.
You call them friends.
Okay, yeah.
No, you don't say bad things, because you only have good things to say.
I ain't gonna say nothing bad.
No, but you can't say that on video.
I just want to ask you if they can see it.
No. I don't know. It's going public. That's the thing. You don't really know what's going to happen.
Okay then. You have to prompt me for that. So I don't say something on the way.
Alright.
Okay.
So, back to the video we're going to make today.
Yeah.
You brought... Let's stay on topic. See, you were really good at this. Like I was saying, right? You brought up something, like you brought up the fact that my decision to not be a pastor. And I wanted to be able to respond to that, and let's have a little discussion about that.
Okay.
Because a lot of persons don't understand. So people who watching this video might not, this may be like the best explanation that they've ever gotten. Because a lot of people curious, people I went to school with, lower grades, higher grades, church people, and I really don't have the energy to sit down with them and tell everyone. You might have remembered in my first year, I told you that I wanted to change my major.
From theology?
I wanted to change my major to mass comm. First year and second year.
Okay, you may have said you was battling. I don't remember you saying like right then that you wanted to change it. You had challenges, I know that.
You remember me struggling between mass comm and wanting to change my major?
Yes, but I don't remember you saying it was no. Anyway, I get no.
If you saying I was battling, that means I was battling between my majors, whether I wanted to study mass comm or theology.
Okay. So
I told you from first year, and this actually started before I started NCU. I wanted to do a double major because I was undecided when I started. But it was hard to tell that to everyone. I was always able to tell you certain stuff, which is something I really appreciate. I was always able to tell you, so I was like, Mommy, I want to do a double major. That was the only thing I could have said. That was the smartest thing when I started school. I was telling my daddy that because I felt more comfortable, like nobody would judge me. But when you guys is like, no, double major too expensive, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
you gotta do one. You gotta pick one. So I was like, alright, I gotta do theology. So I chose theology, knowing I wanted to do both. And then as I got into school, the passion for God didn't really leave. But it's just like I was battling with both. Like I realized from 16, when I first started working at the radio station, I think I was 16 or 17, I was grade 10.
Somebody, yeah.
Like I fell in love with media, and I knew that this is something I want to do. I was an engineer in the back, and I watched these guys, and I watched a spiritual guy who was on a sports radio show, and he mixing like his faith with sports radio. This was not a Christian radio station. And I was like so intrigued with like him in particular. Can't even remember his name. Brian Amby. He was mixing his faith, and he was like going. Like, I was like, boy. And I could see the impact on people. The people call it
mixing faith. What you mean by that?
Like his faith would go with whatever he did. So he wasn't always talking about God. He was talking about sports.
Oh, okay.
But because he's a Christian, a strong Christian, he always was spiritual. And like that's what I like to do too. Like I don't know when you're talking about God related topics, but like people need to know like Christians are real people.
Correct.
So anyway, long story short, I fell in love with mass comm, and that's been following me throughout my whole journey in school. And then I just was like, wait, I have to choose. I keep thinking narrow-minded, like I had to choose because y'all made me choose, basically. And then I decided, okay, I only can study one thing then. I love mass comm. I want to do mass comm. I was trying to follow what I really knew. I was passionate about at the time. And I was like, wait, I could preach. I've been preaching. This is my logic. I've been preaching from I was 15 up until then when I was in school when I was 18. I say, I never had no degree to do that. So why I gotta go get a degree to do this? Now, I thought, maybe it makes sense to get a degree to do mass comm because that's a job. That's another type of job. I said I could keep preaching and then do my mass comm. So like I was battling like real tough. Like y'all don't even know the struggles I was going through. I was battling like I couldn't rest. My mind was restless because I was uneasy. I knew I didn't want to be doing what I was doing. I hated my classes. I hated studying theology. It was boring. It was almost like torture. I was almost like that kid who didn't belong. Like I felt like an outcast.
Like for how long you felt this
most
way?
of the time, the whole time.
For the whole 5 years?
I didn't like studying theology.
Wow.
I sat in those classes. I probably enjoyed 2 classes out of like 40.
Okay, that's a wide range.
Right? I sat in certain classes and I was like, wait, I even belong here? Like, if I look at these guys and they're like, they so pastoral, good for them.
Wow.
I was like, I could preach. I like to preach. I know God probably called me to preach and stuff too, but I was like, but did he call me to be a pastor?
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole different thing. John the Baptist and all them dudes, they ain't have no degrees. So I'm saying, like, my call shouldn't be limited, and my mind just began to open as I learned more about life and how you could go about different things. And I was saying, if I tell myself I need a degree to do my call, then I would be limiting that. And I just felt like media was a part of my call. Like, that was something that grew on me too. From 2017, when I got the impression to start my YouTube channel, I started to realize that God was calling me to do media too. Like, I felt purposeful in doing media from 2017. So I decided to complete the degree because I didn't want to be in school forever. I decided to complete the degree, but deep down, I knew I didn't want to be a pastor. I prayed, I said, God, if you want me to be a pastor, give me this deep longing to be a pastor. Give me a passion for pastoral ministry. I was praying that prayer. Didn't happen.
Wow.
I had this lecturer. She does podcasts, so I'm going to shout out Miss Daly, Miss Noreen Daly. Let me get this book. It's Noreen Daly. A little dusty, but I actually read it. I don't know why it's dusty. Oh, it's dusty because we was cleaning
doing some work, you forget
we
the
was
door.
Doing some door work. I actually read this book up to last week. No, she didn't buy the book, but she did her devotional in class every day would come from this book. So anyway, after graduating, I finally bought the book.
Oh,
but
because you could afford it then.
I could afford it. I bought that book for like $2 used on Amazon.
Oh, okay, yeah, you definitely did.
She used to ask me, she said, Keith, do you want to be a pastor? Nobody ever asks me that question. You don't ask theology majors if they want to be a pastor.
Because, I'm like, duh, what are you doing there?
Like, who asked a theology major, someone in the seminary, if they want to be a pastor?
She was a psychologist?
No. She was a communication studies lecturer. She's actually the head of the department, the chair when I left. She still is. And it's someone, when I did her class, we grew such a relationship. I would come to her office and just sit down and talk to her.
Okay.
Like, while she doing work, she'd be working. And like, hello, Mr. Brian. I say, hey, Mr. Daly, how you doing? Like, literally, these conversations would last like 5, 10, 20 minutes the most. I would just sit down. She was asking me like regular questions, like, how was your week? Like, I just felt comfort around her, like peace.
Wow.
Like,
she was old or young?
She's not old. She's young. You probably inside with her.
Oh, okay, cool.
She's probably a little younger.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I just felt this peace around her, like, she just was so nice. And then, like I say, she just asked me, and I just had to answer honestly, say no.
Wow.
And that's probably the first time I admitted to someone was her. Maybe a year later, I still studying theology. She comes to me again in the CAF. It's probably my final year. Keith, do you want to be a pastor? I say no.
Again, no, again.
Keep in mind, I had to pause every time because I had to admit it to myself first and then admit it to her. So she say, so what are your plans when you finish school? I said, to be a pastor.
Okay.
She's like, Keith, you don't want to be a pastor, but you're going to be a pastor? I'm confused. Like simple, the most simple logic. And I'd be like, she said, so why are you going to be a pastor?
I hope you didn't say because my mom or my dad wanted me to be
because
a pastor.
I study in theology.
Duh.
That's what I qualified for.
Okay, so
like literally, it was simple as that, you know. And it sounds to me, it sounds crazy now because of where my mind is now. But yeah, so like I say, it was an ongoing battle for years from I started, and it culminated in my final year, a couple months before, like months in, when I think Miss Daly had asked me the last time, and I just said, you know what? She just gave me simple encouragement that, hey, it's okay to not know what you're going to do. I needed peace with myself. So peace with myself meant taking a risk and not knowing what I was going to do when I graduated. And Miss Daly told me, she said, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know where you're going to work next. It's okay to leave school unemployed without knowing what's next. God will make a way. He will find an opportunity. He will find a job in an area that he wants you to be in. And I took up on that, graduated, left school not knowing where I was going to work. And it was tough for me mentally. It was really tough. I held it up and acted strong, but it was tough because I just didn't know what was going to happen in my life. And then after a while, I started getting more comfortable. And I was really happy that I didn't get a job, by the way. I didn't want a job, to be honest. That's why I was applying so slow. I applied to 2 places in 4 months. When you want a job, you don't do that.
Exactly.
I wanted a break from the mental pressure that I was going through in school. I went through a lot of pressure trying to keep my GPA above 3.0, trying to figure out why I study in theology, and then trying to keep studying theology even though I didn't like it. And then also, you know, you have your little girlfriend and all that stuff, and you know, I never had girlfriends who used to stress me out. But I feel like I used to be stressed out because I didn't know if I wanted to be in those relationships sometimes. Anyway, that's the next story for another day.
Yeah, moving right
along. And then studying Greek and Hebrew is also very stressful.
I'm sure it was another language.
Yeah, another foreign language that people don't even speak. So yeah, that's why I'm not a pastor, and I'm currently a teacher. And then who knows what's next?
That's something, eh? Who knows?
You know, Pastor Franklin told me recently, he said, you know, I don't know what you're going to be in life. I don't know. He said, I don't got a, he said, I don't know. I be trying to figure out what is Keith going to do in his life. What is he going to become? I know it's something great, but I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it.
That sounds like him. Or something you would say.
I'd be like, I don't know either.
Okay.
But the thing is, I'm so comfortable with that. And that's, I feel so free. It feels so weird to be comfortable with not knowing.
I think it's because you're still young.
And I'm married, I have no responsibilities.
Exactly, because
I have no kids. And
as you get older, there's some kind of stability has to be there. Like right now, you're just free like a bird. Like
but
you
I got
said,
some stability too.
You're living home with your mommy.
I have some stability too, though.
Okay, you have stability, but you're still free because you're living home with your mommy. You have no care in the world. Yeah, you just help with a bill here and there, but you really don't have to worry about nothing. So right now, you could like feel the way you're feeling, but like you say, as you get older, then maybe get engaged, hint, then get married, have kids, and you have to really then say, okay, before that you gotta say, okay, I plan on getting married, or I need some stability and find a job that I can pay the bills. It ain't gonna be no bouncing from here and there, or I don't want to do this, or 1 year I work here and whatever. So that's why you feel that way now, because you're still young.
And I'm embracing it.
Exactly.
I think a lot of persons have the opportunity of being mentally free from the pressure, but they don't know how to do it. Help me out by sharing this video with someone in their 20s so that they could, be able to join these conversations. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and see you guys in the next one.
Life is short. Live life, no day is guaranteed or promise. Live life, anxious, don't feel like I am strong, yeah. Live life, why really completely alive? Live life, yeah. Life is short.